Indeed, the Fast One Motorsports 125 special $100 to win event tonight to kick off the second half of the GossCars.com IACT winter warm-up season. Let's meet the field for the first of three qualifying heats. Joey Israelson in car number 28 will go on the pole in his first time out this year, alongside by random draw the point leader Bob Eldred in the Mind Warp 13. Then in row 2, we have Logan Powers in the 31 alongside the 13 Vermont of Tydelphia. Kyle Goodboe tonight doing a last-minute sub for our number 2 point man and reigning champion, Casey Beatty, as you can see with the duct tape number 45. And then alongside him, podium finisher last time out, Jason Ricker, the Thompson Speedway Tech Inspector in car number 9. David Weir in the 21, the 13 New Hampshire of Luke Shannon, and riding shotgun Justin Prescott in the 04 as we look to go racing.
It'll be a good heat race to kick things off. 125 laps of action here tonight. Pace car getting set to come down pit road. And Michael, they're coming to you in the green flag.
Field accelerates off turn 4, and the green is underway at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Joey Israelson, who's a regular at Oxford in the street stock division, goes to the lead early in the 28. Bob Eldred going to try and hold on that outside as here comes Logan Powers down low.
Joey Israelson away with the top spot side by side. They fight for second. Bottom lane looks to be the place to be so far. You see Bob Eldred dropping back just a bit in the 13. Logan Powers is by. Now Kyle Goodboe in the Casey Beatty substitute ride going underneath. He's going to take third as Eldred sliding backwards here on the opening laps.
15-lap heat races as the norm. 26 cars tonight. All of them will start the main event, but starting position, points, and pride are on the line here. And your point leader, Bob Eldred, is going nowhere fast on the outside line. Jason Ricker looking to take over the 4th spot. Luke Shannon right behind him in the 13. Eldred came into tonight with a healthy point lead, but Nick, he's watching it start to slip away here in this heat race.
Yeah, points count. Oh, and there's trouble. Around goes Eldred. Around goes Shannon. Tydelphia involved. Justin Prescott getting by on the top side. Caution flag flies as Eldred and Shannon make contact going into turn number 3.
Indeed. We will get a look here on replay, see if we can determine precisely what happened here between Bob Eldred and Luke Shannon.
I think Bob just really wanted the inside lane there, tried to make a lane for himself, but Shannon just had his 13 machine filling that hole there on the inside. Tough break, just a battle for the same real estate, I believe.
Indeed. We'll take a look here. Hang on, let me see if we'll see if our crack replay team can get this going a little faster here, because we don't have all night to watch them go in slow motion, right, Nick?
Correct.
We'll watch as they come around here, and yeah, we'll see it as they come by here, I think. Yeah. 2 13s wanted one spot, and only one of them could have it, unfortunately.
And a third 13 found his way in there as well with Tydelphia. Triple 13s.
Yes, 9 cars in a heat race, and by random draw, 3 of them are the number 13. That's just Murphy's Law, isn't it, Nick?
I suppose so. Well, we're riding here under our first caution of the evening. It's heat race number 1. This is the Fast One Motorsports Oxford Plains 125 here this evening. Race number 5 of our 2025 schedule. We're past halfway now, Michael. The points chase really starting to heat up. So getting a good finish here for a guy like Bob Eldred is going to be pretty important.
Indeed. Eldred came into this one 31 points ahead of Casey Beatty in second, and 44 points ahead of Logan Powers, in third. Both of them ahead of him right now could stand to make some gains in this heat race as we are back underway. Israelson again out to the lead, and it's a 3-car tango for second as here comes Goodboe on the inside in the 45 machine.
Goodboe has got that thing hooked up. We saw him run so well at the end of last week's race. Up to second now in his heat as we go on board with Israelson, the race leader here. Goodboot trying to catch him in that spray-painted pink number 45 machine, sliding right down underneath, growing closer and closer as they come around to 7 laps to go.
Indeed, 10 points to win the heat, 8 for second. So Kyle Goodboot, after having a rough start to his own season, subbing for Casey Beatty, trying to give him that full 10 points and gain some ground on Bob Eldred, who, as you can see on the back of your screen, has only been able to make it up to 7th spot, which not only means fewer points in the heat would be putting him pretty far back in the feature. Tries to get a bead there on Dave Weir, but nothing doing as we're coming to 5 to go.
Oxford Plains Speedway, such a technical track. You've got to really work your momentum and keep that car going around the track. You don't want to slide the tires, as you see Justin Prescott do exactly that off of turn number 2. But it's hard to get a good grip on this racetrack. It's so momentum-based, and you've got to get in a good rhythm, but when you're back in traffic, that's really difficult to do.
Indeed, very momentum-based, very rough on tires. You know, this is a race where it comes down to who's best over 125 laps, and that's a cliche, but at Oxford, it really is not about how fast you can go on one lap. As we're coming to 2 to go, we've got a 3-car battle, though, shaping up for the lead here at the front.
2 Oxford guys, Israelson and Ricker, running first and third, with the White Mountain guy, Kyle Goodboot, running in second. Goodboot trying to make a charge at it, coming to the white flag, but Israelson still got the lead as they come to the white.
Israelson, the street stock regular at Oxford, trying to defend his home turf here on the back straightaway for the final time. Goodboot gives him one last look, but as the checker flag comes out off of turn 4, Israelson will hold on to win it in the 28 machine.
And
as we see Goodboot go flying off turn 1 in second place, Jason Ricker third, Logan Powers, Dave Weir, and Bob Eldred round out your top 6 as we'll take a quick look at the full heat. There are your full Heat 1 results on the scoreboard as we get ready for Heat number 2 at the Oxford Plains Speedway.
Look out in the camping lot. There's Kyle Goodboot launches his car off of turn number 1. But how about Joey Israelson, Michael? Listen, I know he's an Oxford regular. We're all super jealous that he gets to have his home track. We still can't get Thunder Road on iRacing for some reason, yada, yada, yada. But for him to come in here, first IACT race, go out, win a heat race, how about it?
Indeed, certainly a great start. That will unofficially put him on the pole for tonight's event, as if you're watching the GossCars.com IACT series for the first time, heat feature lineup is set based on the heat race results. So the winner of heat number 2 will start second. Nick, take us through the starting field.
We've got Eric Steele in the 32 machine, starting on the inside. To the outside, it's the naughty list 22 this week, no longer number 4. It's Matt Smith in car 22. Ryan Kuhn starts third in the number 72 RKM setup shop Chevrolet Camaro. He's won 2 races so far this year, and to his outside, Dylan Zulo in the 16. Then we've got JJ Goodboot and Reagan Parent in the 17, Aiden Young in the 69, Brian Hoare 46, Jacob Roy rounds out the field, starting in 9th position.
Once again, 15 laps to set the starting field for tonight's Fast One Motorsports 125. Green flag is out, and they are underway. Smith tried to barrel it into turn number 1, but the short way around the strong one early as Eric Steele goes to the point. Ryan Kuhn, who is keeping the Christmas spirit alive in that 72 machine, goes to the bottom and takes over the number 2 spot.
Kuhn slides easily to second. Matt Smith, as we saw with Bob Eldred, struggling up there on the top side from that front row. Bottom line, definitely the place where you want to be, is now Smith trying to fend off Dylan Zulo in car 16. And as we go there, look from our Michael, is this helicopter or blimp that we have here with JJ Goodboot?
This is the blimp view tonight. This is what Brian Hoare was piloting last week, but he is back behind the actual wheel of an IACT late model stock machine as he waits for things to sort out in front of him. Still side by side, JJ Goodboot and Reagan Parent, who so far has given the best run of anybody on that outside groove.
But we have ourselves a battle for the lead here as Ryan Kuhn is. Oh, Reagan Parent is almost off track as Kuhn is really hunting down Eric Steele. Coming to 10 laps to go in heat number 2, and Kuhn makes the jump up to the top side looking for the lead.
Ryan Kuhn, one of the top IACT racers in the world, pretty good behind the wheel of a real-life race car as well. You can see him inside there, manhandling that machine, trying to get the crossover figured out there, but Eric Steele is protecting that bottom like he should in that 32 car.
Coming to 8 laps to go. Kuhn is there. He's at the back bumper of Eric Steele. Moving topside once again. Will he look to cross him over on corner exit? Yes, he does. Steele closes the door. Kuhn jumps back to the top side. We're trying to work over the 32, and boy, do we have a great battle for the top spot here at Oxford.
Let's go inside the car with Ryan Kuhn. As you see again, taking that very wide entry in the turn and trying to cut the bottom off of turn 2. But Eric Steele has not let the door open, has just told him, Ryan, young man, if you want to go around me, you got to go the long way. And they're coming to 5 laps to go next time. He is running out of time to get it done.
We saw a side-by-side photo finish in Heat 1. Will we have another in Heat 2? Ryan Kuhn using every inch of the front stretch to try to wind that 72 machine up and get a good enough run to pull even or even ahead of Eric Steele, but so far, the 32 car prevails.
The rest of the field has gotten somewhat spaced out. You could see on your tower on the right side, Aiden Young up to the 6th spot, but this remains the battle. Here comes Kuhn. Eric Steele finally left an opening, and Kuhn shoots right through to take the lead here at Oxford.
Yeah, just one little bobble from the 32, and we've seen how difficult it is to run that top side early on in this race. Kuhn goes by in one corner, and now he's got a car length lead, and he's looking to drive off into the sunset with heat race number 2.
2 laps to go in this one. Kuhn is your leader. Steele in second. Dylan Zulo, Matt Smith, and Reagan Parent round out the top 5, but the man behind RKM Setup Shop getting it done. He is less than 1 lap away from victory.
Ryan Kuhn missed the race last week. He was down in Florida at Speed Weeks, but looking to get himself right back in the championship picture. This is a great way to start. Kuhn wins heat number 2 here at Oxford. Eric Steele is second, Dylan Zulo third, Matt Smith comes home 4th, Reagan Parent 5th, Aiden Young, JJ Goodboo, Brian Hoare, and Jacob Roy round out your field in heat number 2.
There are the results on screen for you, for those of you watching online at the American Canadian Tour YouTube channel. 2 heats in the books, 1 more to go to set the field for the Fast One Motorsports 125. 8 cars ready to do battle for 15 laps in this one, just waiting for the last couple to make it to the grid, as it looks like our tower has again combined 2 heats, but we will get it rolling here. Still, you can see, still waiting for our pole sitter to make it out, and he's running out of time here. We're about ready to get rolling on our pace laps.
I believe we're waiting for Reese Bogue in the 4 machine, former top runner on IACT, looking to make his season debut here tonight. But to his outside will be Richie Murray, winner 2 weeks ago in that Chikrin Auto Parts number 08 machine out of Seekonk. There's Reese Bogue in the 4. In row number 2, Taylor Hoare in the East Rise Credit Union number 46 Vermont. Rookie competitor last year at Thunder Road. To her outside will be Nate Wenzel in the 03. Then Mike McCaskill will roll off 5th. To his outside, another guy who was not here last week, Kyler Davis in the Mind Warp number 1. Going on to row number 4 now. A little bit further back in the field, we have Brock Rouse there in the Harrison Ready Mix number 70. To his inside, the guy who used to run the car for him, that's Scott Dragon in the Premier Paving at Chevrolet.
15 laps the distance once again. The winner will start 3rd in the main event tonight. 2nd place will start 6th. So 1 car here means a lot. Keep an eye on your front row as they start. Reese Bogue, former winner on the IACT series. Richie Murray, a winner this season. came into tonight 4th in the standings. One of those drivers trying to make up some ground. As we get ready to race, here comes the pace car in.
Reese Bogue, Richie Murray lead us to green. We're racing in heat race number 3 for the Fast One Motorsports 125. This one's fairly even into turn 1, but off of 2, Richie Murray might have made some contact there with Reese Bogue. Bogue is way out in front. Nate Wenzel jumped from the top side all the way down, and we have a caution flag here. Looks like there's a problem. Brock Rouse in the 70, we see him slow off the pace here on lap number 1. Some left front damage on the Harrison Ready Mix number 70 machine.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened here to bring the caution out. Oh, looks like there was some contact between McCaskill and Davis, and the 70 of Rouse may look like the innocent bystander there, Nick.
Yeah, it looks like McCaskill and Davis, similar to the wreck in heat number 1, just going for the same real estate. And obviously only one car can fit on one piece of asphalt. We'll see here. Oh, McCaskill just is plowing tight off the corner and hooks the one of Kyler Davis. Brock Rouse, like you said, Michael, innocent bystander in that one.
Everybody able to get back on the speedway. We go under caution with 2 laps complete in this one. Reese Bogue got the great jump, but Richie Murray will get another shot at him under the score forward system. Was still running in second at the time of the yellow. So he will restart second. Taylor Hoare and Nathan Wenzel will go in row number 2 as they continue to circulate in race number 5 of the season. Nick, we are getting into the home stretch, aren't we?
We sure are. Just a few races, just 3 races to go after this one. New Smyrna will be our race next week, so that should be a lot of fun. And then we're right down to it. Championship points are going to start being as important as ever here as we get close to the end of the 2025 IACT season.
Indeed. We see the one of Kyler Davis make his way off of pit road as the field doubles up. iRacing pace car pulls in. Let's try this again. Bogue on the inside, Richie Murray on the outside. Bogue takes the lead. Murray tries to slice his way to the bottom, but Wenzel is there, and it looks like the caution is out again.
Caution flag back of the field here. You see Scott Dragon down in the infield in the Premier Paving Chevrolet. Dragon has been having some good runs over the last couple of weeks, but not off to a great start here today. We'll take a look back and see if we can find anything in our replay to see what the cause of caution number 2 is here. And it looks like Scott just went around.
Back there. Oh, might have door slapped with his former crew chief there.
Yeah, it looks like he just got a little bit too hot into turn 1. Slides up off the side of Brock Rouse's machine down into the infield. Yeah, he's just running way too high there. A little too hot on the entry. And around he goes.
Yeah. May have just simply seen an opening and tried to go for it, and the tires didn't stick the way he wanted them to, but end result is caution number 2 here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. They're already getting doubled up, though, and getting ready to go back racing.
So it'll be round 3 between Reese Bogue and Richie Murray. I think we've got it established at this point. Richie Murray's main objective is to get down behind Reese Bogue in second place. That's how good the inside lane has been. But Nate Wenzel not probably going to give the break that he gave to Richie Murray last time. Going to be interesting to see how this restart shakes out.
We'll go with what we call the spotter stand view on this restart. Green is out. Bogue again gets the jump, but Wenzel leaves a gap, and Murray able to dive down to the inside and hold that second position as Taylor Hoare looks like starting to fade on the outside in the 46.
Taylor Hoare heading to the back of the pack in the 46 machine, her IACT season debut, and things not going so well for her as she tries to acclimate here to virtual Oxford Plains Speedway. Back up at the front of the field, Reese Bogue, Richie Murray, and Nate Wenzel running nose to tail first through third. Wenzel sliding back a little bit, and now a bid for the race lead for Murray.
Murray got into the back of Bogue just a little bit, and that shifted Bogue up the track. Murray goes to the inside of him, looking to take the lead here, and the 10 points that come with it. Again, came into tonight fourth in the standings, almost 50 points back of the 13 of, gosh, Bob Eldred. That's who it is, but has a prime chance here to gain as he takes the lead, and Nate Wenzel going for the number 2 position.
And Bogue goes way high off the corner there. Bogue really struggling in the 4 car. He's going to lose third to Kyler Davis. Davis moves into the top 3. Bogue looking to settle down that 4CT automobile as Scott Dragon now looks to take advantage of the position.
Well, Kyler Davis sliced through the field in a hurry after being involved in that initial caution all the way back up to the 3rd spot. Bogue tried to get back underneath him there, but couldn't find the lane. As Davis will hold on to that number 3 spot. We'll go inside the cockpit with the 70 of Brock Rouse now, who's working on Mike McCaskill for the 5th position.
Yeah, Brock Rouse involved in that, really involved in 2 cautions at the beginning of this thing, and neither of them really being his fault, as he's just trying to settle himself in here and get a good little decent run out of this, get himself locked into the show. As you see, Mike McCaskill right ahead of him in the 3. Rouse trying to take advantage as McCaskill slides up the racetrack. Might just do it this time. And now a little bit of games being played up in front as Bogue and Davis looked like they might have gotten together right ahead of these guys.
Indeed, action all over the track. You may have seen McCaskill hop the curb in the 3, but he's trying to hold on the outside, and will slide up ahead here as Bogue again trying to muscle his way underneath the 1 of Kyler Davis, but Davis says nothing doing as we're coming to 2 laps to go.
That battle for the final transfer spot still well and alive. Brock Rouse looks like he might have it now, but here is Reese Bogue in the 4. He sits in 4th position. Sliding back a little bit, Kyler Davis is 3rd. Back up front, Richie Murray leading Nate Wenzel by about a second here as we come to the white flag.
It is all Richie Murray in the Chuck Renato Parts Machine coming around for the final time to take the checker. He will win heat number 3 for the Fast One Motorsports 125. Wenzel in 2nd, then Kyler Davis, Reese Bogue, and Brock Rouse round out the top 5. And that means the field is set for tonight's main event at Oxford Plains Speedway. We will have a short final practice here, and then we will get ready to go racing at Oxford.
Absolutely. So, man, Michael, what did we think from those heat races here? It looks like we're in for a night where it's going to be a fight for the bottom, which oftentimes is how the actual ACT races go here.
Well, a fight for the bottom, and also a fight to see, for positioning. I think with each driver having 1 set of tires and the bottom being so important, we are definitely going to see some short pitting and other strategy from folks in the middle of the pack to try and get their way to the front and stay there. That is my prediction for tonight. But before we get to that, Nick, we have some great sponsors tonight, including the folks putting up the special $100 prize to win tonight, Fast One Motorsports.
Yeah, absolutely. Fast One Motorsports, great business for everybody that's involved in racing. I mean, they've got just about everything when it comes to race car parts. And I mean, they are as experienced and knowledgeable as it gets over there. Pete Dudo has been doing this for longer than just about all of us. From working with Phil Scott to Bobby Therian, winning championships and milk bowls, big races left and right all the way through. They've become mainstays over at Thunder Road on Thursday nights, and a lot of times on the American Canadian Tour as well. And really, they've become Vermont's source for anything, any type of parts, whether it's body parts, chassis parts, anything like that, for your race cars, really in any division. Fast One Motorsports they've saved a lot of people throughout the year over at Thunder Road that might tear up their car and have a quick turnaround Thursday night to Thursday night to try to get it fixed up. I know there's been countless times where without Fast One Motorsports and Pete Dudo over there, those guys just wouldn't have made it to the track.
Indeed, and they've been around for a while. I remember when Pete Dudo was working back with Steve Miller and other drivers in the early 90s on the Thunder Road Airborne Flying Tiger International Series trail. worked with Phil Scott for a number of years, Bobby Therian, former Thunder Road King of the Road. He gets it done no matter what. We'll also tell you while we're here about RKM Setup Shop, one of the presenting sponsors of the IACT series. The RKM stands for Ryan Kuhn Motorsports, and you know, a rating on iRacing of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 is a pretty good rating, Nick. But Ryan Kuhn has a iRacing rating of 10,662. Literally one of the top iRacers in the world, and he has put that expertise to work, putting together setups for these other drivers, to find the magic at these virtual tracks. As you see him here getting warmed up, doesn't matter whether it's a short track like Oxford, a super speedway like Daytona, a road course, a late model stock, dirt cars, cup cars. He can put together a slamming setup for you, and he's been providing the setups here at the GossCars.com IACT series the last couple of years. And we've seen it these last couple of weeks, Nick, that these setups lead to some absolutely fantastic racing. So if you want to elevate your iRacing game, look up RKM Motorsports on Facebook and shoot him a message and say, I want to get better, and Ryan Kuhn will make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no better setups in the game, especially when it comes to the short track racing stuff, than RKM Setup Shop. And I mean, the proof is in the pudding, folks. Anybody that's been watching IACT all year long sees how good these cars run around the racetrack. I mean, how many times have you loaded into an iRacing session at Oxford and just been all over the place? Well, these cars look planted to the racetrack. Everybody's able to make moves. There's plenty of passing. I mean, it's just really a perfect setup. And before our warm-up completes here, Michael, we got to talk to you about GossCars.com as well.
Indeed, GossCars.com, which includes Goss, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler in the South Burlington, Williston area. There's soon to be opening Goss Jeep location, Goss Chevrolet up in Champlain, New York. They aim to provide their neighbors with a seamless car buying experience with a wide array of quality vehicles, accommodating financing option, and advanced technology in their state-of-the-art service center. Whatever type of car you're looking for, sedan, coupe, minivan, a giant Ram truck, go to GossCars.com, and remember, go, 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 Goss has got it.
Let's go. I think that might have been your best one this year, Michael.
I guess I should just drop the mic and head out on top.
Yeah, you might as well. No, we need you here for sure. Fast One Motorsports 125 at Oxford Plains Speedway. Ready to roll. Here is your starting lineup. Joey Israelson on the pole, the street stock competitor over at Oxford Plains Speedway. His home turf. He starts first in the 28. Ryan Kuhn in the 72. We just talked about him. RKM Setup Shop, two-time winner this year. Richie Murray, winner earlier on in the season at South Boston. He will start from third starting position. Kyle Goodboe will roll off fourth. He is subbing tonight for Casey Beatty.
Starting fifth, 32, Eric Steele. You can see the Horse Dog Motorsports machine. And then Nathan Wenzel in the 03, the former NASCAR New Hampshire state champion. Row 4, Jason Ricker, podium finisher last week in the 229 Autosport number 9. And then Dylan Zulo in the 16Z will start 8th.
Home track race for Ricker as well. Kyler Davis as we move on to row number 5. In the Mind Warp number 1. He will roll off in 9th. Logan Powers, one of the championship contenders. He'll start 10th in the number 31. Matt Smith in the 22 will roll off 11th. And Reese Bogue, making his IACT season debut, will start 12th.
Starting 13th will be the 13 of Dave Weir in car number 21. Then Reagan Parent in the 17 will roll off 14th. Brock Rouse, former ACT crew chief, in the 70. And then the point leader, Bob Eldrin, the 13, starting all the way back in 16th tonight. As you see Ryan Kuhn in the previous winner's penalty dropping to the rear of the field.
Aiden Young will start 17th in the number 69, the street stock competitor, or the strictly mini competitor, rather, over at White Mountain Motorsports Park. And the Flying Tiger driver from Thunder Road, Mike McCaskill, will roll off 18th. Luke Shannon from Riverside Speedway will roll off in 19th. And JJ Goodboo in the 92, another strictly mini driver at White Mountain, he'll start 20th.
Then you've got Taylor Hoare in the 46, the 13 of everyone else. Dragon, Prescott, Goodboo, Roy, all the rest. They were racing at Oxford, Nick.
Here we go. Israelson with the lead to begin the race. Nate Wenzel trying to get in underneath him, but Richie Murray not going to give him the break here as they come around to lap number 2, side by side for second, but Israelson has the race lead.
Nathan Wenzel tries to get to the bottom, and he does it, slicing his way to the inside to hold off Eric Steele. That leaves Dylan Zulo, the odd man out in the 16, pedaling on the outside to try and hold on to it, because he's got a whole line of cars led by the 31 of Logan Powers, ready to capitalize if he can't make it stick.
Yeah, we're going to see if that top side comes in a little bit later on in the race. I kind of expect it to, Michael, but we'll see what happens here. But right now, the bottom lane is the place to be. Everybody's going to be fighting for that bottom, and that's just good old short track racing to kick this off here. But it's, like I said, interesting to watch tonight. Does that outside lane become a place where you can really wind your car up and make some runs just like you can in real life?
That is the question, and up ahead of this, you see a challenge for the number 3 position. Eric Steele pokes the nose to the inside of Nathan Wenzel off of turn number 2. Give him the spot as Wenzel goes way wide. Logan Powers now trying to dip under him, but they bang doors off of turn 4.
And side-by-side fight is on. That's Logan Powers, 31. Outside is Nate Wenzel in the 03. This the battle for 4th. Powers trying to work him over on that inside lane, and Jason Ricker nose tight to the back of the 31, not trying to give Nate Wenzel any room as Wenzel tries his hardest to keep himself afloat up there on the top side.
Indeed, you don't want to get shuffled back early because it completely changes your strategy this race, but at the same time, you don't want to completely burn the tires off on that outside, knowing you've got to make them last a while. We see Ricker slide through on the bottom to pick up the number 5 spot. Kyler Davis through for 6, and there goes Zula. See him spinning off of turn 2.
Bob Eldred involved as well in the 13. Caution flag is out.
Oh, man. That is going to change things here in a hurry at Oxford Plains Speedway. We'll see if we can get queued up what happened, but that puts us under caution very early in this one.
Yeah, we saw Dylan Zulo sideways off of turn number 4. The field stacking up behind him. Bob Eldred, one of the cars involved. You see him up there. We'll see if anybody else got a hold of this accident. So we go back and check out our replay. Brock Rouse is in there. Looks like everybody else gets through, though. But not what our championship leader, Bob Eldred, wanted to see this early on.
Looks like a case to me of Dylan Zulo trying to get it to the bottom when Bob Eldred was already there. Brock Rouse and others just caught up in it, but not the first time Brock Rouse has been an innocent bystander tonight. But that definitely scrambles things up here at Oxford in the early going.
It sure does, and you know what that means? We saw the certain car driving through there at the very tail end of that replay. 72 of Ryan Kuhn, who took the fans challenge we're hearing to go to the back of the field tonight. When you have that 10,000 I rating, Michael, and you're responsible for making the setups, we kind of like to handicap you a little bit. But he's up to 15th in the 72.
Making some moves early on in this one, that's for sure. And Bob Eldred, it wouldn't be the first time he's come from the back to the front, but after already making some progress, certainly not what he was looking for, as we are doubling up, getting ready to go back racing with 11 laps complete in this one. It's been all Joey Israelson so far. We'll see what Richie Murray can do along his outside on this restart. And then we're going to have Eric Steele and Logan Powers, the number 3 point man in row number 2.
Here they come, getting ready to go green. Israelson gets the jump. Murray gets down into second. The fight will be from third on back. As we see Eric Steele getting by Logan Powers. Now Nate Wenzel, he's on the bottom side. Logan Powers is the car that's shut out to dry up there on the top side as we come around. Powers and Ricker now still tied at the hip, as they always seem to be in this series, trying to find a way to the bottom of the racetrack.
Indeed. Nathan Wenzel may have been the guy most happy to see that caution, because he was one of the ones just trying to cling to the top side, was able to get to the bottom based on where he was running on the restart, and shoots right through to the 4th spot. Logan Powers has an opening there, going to try and get it down, and it looks like he will. So Logan Powers able to mitigate the damage. Behind him, it's Ricker, Smith, and Parent going at it for the number 7 position.
You see Ricker there to the inside, taking the spot from Matt Smith. Smith gets in line in front of Reagan Parent. Reagan Parent in the 17 now trying to gain some spots. Dave Weir in that mix as well. This is the battle for 7th position on the racetrack. Not much of a battle right now, though, as Ricker putting on a good pace, kind of pulling away from Matt Smith at this point.
Indeed. We'll head into the middle of the pack here, where we do have some side-by-side action going on. Mike McCaskill trying to hold on to the top side in the 69. Aiden Young trying to work the inside of Scott Dragon in the 0 machine. And we see Joey Israelson might be in trouble, because he is all over our ticker at this point, Nick.
He is
it
flashing.
Looks like it might be, he's not in trouble. His internet connection's in trouble. I see.
Yeah, that happens from time to time.
Yes, it does. But when he's connected, he is flying. Has already put about 1.25 seconds on the field in less than 10 laps since the restart. We'll see if he can maintain that over the course of this run, but the Oxford home track guy out of Saco, Maine is off to a flying start in this one.
Yeah, he's hoping that his connections to the internet stays as strong as his connection to the racetrack right now. Also going to wonder, how much tire is he using in comparison to Richie Murray, Eric Steele, Nate Wenzel at this point in time? And could that come back to bite him here? If we have a long green flag run, he gets caught up in lap traffic. Things could backfire, but maybe he's just that much faster than everybody. But right now, that's a big lead that he's gotten out to. Hard to imagine that he's thinking about saving tires at this point.
Indeed. Remember, as we mentioned, everyone has one fresh set of tires in the pit area. And you can have a plan for when you want to change them, but who knows how the cautions will sort out. So whether we will see, keep an eye on that as it develops. In the meantime, we are watching in the middle of the pack here. We got the camera on Reese Bogue in 11th, Luke Shannon in 12th, and JJ Goodboo in the 13th position, all fighting just outside the top 10. You can see Ryan Kuhn at the tail end of this pack. Lost a few spots on the restart, but trying to fight back through in the Merry Christmas number 72 machine.
Yeah, and you see him just putting guys down at this point underneath Scott Dragon, looking to gain another spot on the racetrack. Aiden Young, Mike McCaskill will be his next targets here, as long as he can get around the 0 machine. Mike McCaskill slides back down the racetrack in front of him. Kuhn's in a position now. He's got to try to save as much tire as he can while still, progressing up through the field. We saw a couple weeks ago in South Boston struggled to, accustom himself to the tires in that race, made a bad pit strategy call. It cost him even a top 10. I mean, he was a complete non-factor in that race. So trying to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Indeed, but Scott Dragon in front of him is fighting back on that outside line, so Kuhn may just have to sit here and bide his time here in the middle of the pack. We will keep an eye on that as we head back up closer to the front of the field. We'll check in around our 5th spot here. Jason Ricker having another strong run in the 9. The tech inspector at Oxford Plains Speedway, as well as the Thompson Speedway. In front of him, he's got plenty of strong runners, though. Logan Powers in the 6th spot. Your number 3 point man looks to the inside of Kyler Davis for that 5th spot.
Yeah, Logan Powers got caught up on the outside that last restart. Was able to stop the bleeding pretty quickly. Only fell back to 6th, but Kyler Davis, one of the cars that got by him, along with Nate Wenzel. Now Powers trying to figure out a way. How can I get up to the back of the 01 or to the 1 car, make him make a mistake, just so he can put the nose in and take that position down low.
Still a long way to go in this one. Just hitting the quarter pole right now. Lap 32 of 125. Looks like the lead for Joey Israelson has stabilized around 1.3, 1.4 seconds. Powers again poking the nose to the inside as Davis dirt tracks it off turn 4, fitting for a track that was, like so many we've raced at on iRacing, originally a dirt track when it opened back in 1950. Davis, though, able to hold on to it. All these lines of cars running behind the 08 of Richie Murray, who has held on to that 2nd spot well as they jostle behind him.
Yep, definitely. And you see Davis is kind of struggling with that car just a little bit. Logan Powers is right there in that back bumper, ready to take advantage if there's another bobble from Kyler Davis. This is what we've been talking about, that you need to have those... You need to be able to make those things happen to get up through the front until somebody proves that, you know, you can jump up on the top side and make something happen up there. It's literally just going to be a waiting game. Wait for the guy in front of you to make a mistake, maybe force him into a mistake, and then you can slide underneath and take the spot.
Indeed. While we've got time here, we are going to check in on some other drivers in the field. We'll go to Bob Eldred, as you can see, has gotten the right side pretty pancaked, soldiering on in 17th. And Nick, we know that the tower on the left side of the screen isn't always completely reliable, but according to my internal notes, it looks like Kyle Goodboot, Dylan Zulo, and Brock Rouse all did not return to the track after that lap 10 incident. So crushing blows for all of them, but especially Kyle Goodboot and by extension Casey Beatty, who he was running for points tonight to try and keep him in the thick of the IACT championship chase.
Did Kyle Goodboot ever come back from the camping lot after he launched his car off of there in the heat race? I know, I wonder what happened to him. We didn't see him in that wreck, Michael, did we?
We didn't see him initially, but may have gotten caught up in the aftermath of it as well, or something else may have happened. Again, maybe he went to the camping lot and found something better to do there, but the bottom line is he's only completed 9 laps and he's pit side, so very unfortunate break. As we see on the screen, Logan Powers finally gets to the inside of Kyler Davis and picks up the number 5 spot.
Davis now got to make sure he gets back to the bottom. Looks like he will slide in between Logan Powers and Jason Ricker there, but Logan Powers gains the spot into the top 5. He goes, and now he can set his sights for Nate Wenzel in the 03.
And I'm going to go inside with the 08 of Richie Murray to show you that 28 is getting bigger and bigger in his windshield.
Caution.
Wonder if they bring the tires off it, but the caution is out here on lap 44, the Fast One Motorsports 125.
Caution flag on the speedway. Yeah, that lead for Israelson had gone away by an entire second there. Richie Murray really cutting into it. This is about the time, if you drive all out here at Oxford Plains Speedway, this is about the time your tires come out, and Richie Murray dives down pit road in the 08.
Indeed. A bit earlier than I thought we might see some pit cars, but we do see some. It looks like Logan Powers is on pit road as well. The number 31 machine got one on the backside as well, trying to get a better look at who that may be. But some early pit, I did predict we'd see some short pitting and other strategies, and I didn't necessarily think we'd see them this early, Nick, but that has certainly come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see here as we work with some internet
Brock
connection.
Rouse finally returning to the track to try and get some points.
Yeah, Brock Rouse back on the speedway here.
It looks like Joey Israelson may be coming in too. possibly not. I see Jacob Roy. Looks like he was one of the cars in the pits. I saw Justin Prescott as well. Looks like Israelson may have done a pump fake there, but already seeing the strategies come to shake out with two of our top 5 pitting during the.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here how this strategy works out. See what Richie Murray did on that pit stop there. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out.
Understatement of the night, Nick, as we get ready to go back racing here. Field goes under green as our camera scrambled a bit there. We end up on Logan Powers, but the bottom line is the green flag is back out here at Oxford.
And we are racing
Joey
once again.
Israelson. Yeah. Israelson takes the lead. Eric Steele, who may have blipped briefly, causing our camera issue, falls back in line in second.
Israelson away with the lead once again. We'll see. Did he use up too much tire on that opening run? Can Eric Steele stay in contact? If Israelson can drive away once again right here, that would be quite the impressive feat at this point in the race.
Indeed. Behind him, side by side for the number 4 spot, Jason Ricker in the 9. Kyler Davis in the Mind Warp number 1, hanging tough in that purple-wheeled number 1 machine. Behind him, Regan Parent looking for some room in the 17 car.
Yeah, Regan Parent trying to get in underneath. He's gotten past Matt Smith. Kyler Davis, so that's not the spot you want to be in. Maybe we'll start to see that outside lane come in as the inside rubber's up, but Davis and Ricker lean on each other off of turn 2 and all the way down the backstretch. Davis, I think, is at this point for sure knows that he needs to find the bottom. Not able to get anything going as you see Regan Parent trying to get past. Oh, and there's problems. Trouble. Eric Steele is around. Regan Parent makes contact, it looked like, and we have caution.
Eric Steele was running second last time we checked, but he is in trouble in this one. We will see if we can figure out what happened to bring out the caution on lap number 50 here at the Oxford Plains Speedway.
Tough luck for Eric Steele in the 32. He'd been having a great run. We'll see here.
At that point, he's already off the track. We'll see if we can find a better view of what happened to him. Well, at that point, he's already backwards. So our crack replay team is making progress, Nick.
We're getting closer.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, he got some help.
It sure looks like it.
Siri, play I Had Some Help by Post Malone.
It looked to me like a chain reaction, Nick. I think it looked like Steele got into the back of Israelson, and then when he checked up, Wenzel was there and got everything turned around.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you there. We'll see how that shakes it out, though. Will there be any repercussions off this? Will Race Control decide to send anyone to the rear of the field here? It looks like Nate Wenzel's back there with him now.
Indeed, and he may not have meant to hit him, but he did hit him, and that was the ruling from Race Control as we see Dylan Zulo finally returning to the track in the 16 machine. We are getting ready to go back racing here. They double up towards the front of the field.
Yeah, we'll see who is up out in front when this is all said and done with. It looks like we've got an all-Oxford front row, Michael.
Indeed. The racer, Israelson, and the tech man, Jason Ricker, take us back under the green in the Fast One Motorsports 125. Israelson again with the jump, and Ricker trying to hold on to second, but Kyler Davis may have poked the nose underneath him.
Yeah, great job by Kyler Davis. Gets the nose in there. Rickers, though, is going to dive it in deep into turn one to try to get that spot, knowing how important the bottom lane is. A little bit of a stack up again as Reagan Parrott makes contact with the back of Kyler Davis, and they run back it off of turn number 4. The Oxford boys out in front. Israelson leads, Ricker second. Kyler Davis up to third now. He's been methodically working his way up through the field, gained some track position with some spins and some cars coming to pit road. Now Kyler Davis in a podium position here on lap number 53.
We do want to give an update, Nick. It looks like we found the issue with Kyle Goodboe. It appears that his virtual transponder was malfunctioning because he is showing back on the racetrack here in the middle of the pack. I guess he didn't enjoy the campground that much after all, trying to hold on to the outside in the 45 machine as they are 3 wide behind him with Richie Murray and Logan Powers trying to come back through.
Yeah, these guys know the importance on those new tires. Murray in the 08 and Powers in the 31. A couple of guys that were running up towards the front of the field. Logan Powers, knowing how important that track position is, they ran that short pit, and now Powers is ahead of Richie Murray, which is exactly what he needed to do here to when it all cycles back around. If he can stay in front of Richie Murray, that could be huge for him.
I do remember, Nick, the first IACT visit to Oxford last year, Logan Powers did pull this short pit strategy and had the lead late in the race. Unfortunately, there was some contact at the front, and which sent him and a couple other cars to the back, but he almost made this short pit strategy work before at Oxford, and he is looking to seal the deal this time around as we close in on halfway.
He is. You see Jacob Roy is loose behind these drivers. Israelson's still your leader, though, as we go back up front. It's kind of a 3-car jam session for the top spot as Kyler Davis has worked himself to the inside of Ricker. They're going to fight side by side, maybe even make a little bit of contact on corner entry and off of turn number 4, even at the stripe. Now Davis pulls ahead. Davis wants to make a push for the lead.
We can see the tires are starting to go away on some of these cars, Nick. Ricker sideways there, saw the 13 of Shannon sideways a couple laps ago. But Kyler Davis seems to have the mind work number 1 working just fine as he is in the second spot trying to set a bead on Israelson, Reagan Parrott, and here comes Matt Smith on the inside of the 22. Reese Bogue also getting into it in the 4 machine.
Yeah, this outside lane just not coming in at this point in the race. It's so tough to make any ground up on that second or third groove as Ricker dropping back at this point in the race. But you see, maybe somebody is making it work. Look at that 72 machine. Ryan Cunew's in the top lane. He's up to 7th and driving to the front.
3 wide in front of him as Reese Bogue pokes the nose down low. He's got it on the inside. We saw Kyler Davis. Looks like he's around in Israelson as well. Yellow is out as they are scattering in the middle of the turn.
The big one at Oxford here on lap number 64. And I think Ryan Kuhn might have just barely avoided it. But the curse of second place continues here. Kyler Davis is around caution flag for the 4th time tonight. Michael, we've had 4 cautions. 2 of them have been for the car in second place. It looks like Israelson's off the pace there, too.
Yeah. Let's take a look here. We think we got it on our replay. We'll take a look at it from the blimp.
Davis goes to make the move.
Yep. They get together.
And then
everybody. Aiden Young get punted pretty hard.
Yeah, Aiden Young.
Looks like most of the field able to sneak through. And we do see some cars on pit road as well. Under this caution, no surprises. We are just past the halfway point in this one. We see Luke Shannon on pit road, Scott Dragon, Nate Wenzel, the 28 of Israelson. No surprise he came in. The 9 of Ricker, 13 Vermont of Ty Delphia among those who've decided it's time for their fresh tires.
Yeah, it's, I think, Logan Powers, Richie Murray really short pit in the field here. This is where it's going to start to benefit them. They get that track position, and at this point in the race, Michael, we've seen how valuable that track position is. It takes a while. You have to wait for the right opportunity. to make your move to gain a position. You know, if you're going to do it the clean way, sure, you can throw a bumper on to the back of somebody, which I'm sure we might see here as this race gets closer to the end, with $100 on the line to the winner. But most of the track position gains that we've seen have either come from pit road or cars going to the back and crashes.
Indeed. Something to keep an eye on here, as we have an all-new front row between the crash and the pit strategy. It is Reagan Parent and Matt Smith, who have become just the best of friends so far this season, leading them down to the green.
Yeah, that's probably our number one IACT rivalry at this point. But Reagan Parent taking the lead. Reese Bogue is going to second. Matt Smith there in third. And look at that, Michael. Here comes that Mind Warp number 13, Bob Eldred. Mr. Where did he come from? Involved in a crash in his heat race. Involved in a crash early on in this feature, but now up to fourth position here on lap number 66.
Indeed, taking a look at our pit box here too, you can see Eldred is one of the cars that have not pitted, but Logan Powers, who pulled the early short pit, is already fighting to crack his way back into the top 5 here at Oxford, trying to follow Bob Eldred through on the inside as they work the 22 of Smith, the number 3 position.
Yeah, Logan Powers has won the strategy war at this point. Caution flag is out for the 5th time here. We'll see what's going on. Lap number 68, caution number 5 here at Oxford Plains Speedway in the Fast One Motorsports 125.
Yeah, not sure exactly what happened. Happened probably something in the back of the pack. We took a look back there, but nothing obvious on the event screen to indicate what may have happened. Although we see the 13 of Luke Shannon very slow on the outside.
Looks like he's headed to the rear of the field. You see Davis, Israelson, Ricker haven't made up a whole lot of ground at this point.
Well, we'll take a quick look and see we've got a couple of words on what could happen, and we'll take a look at a couple things here and see if we can figure out what may have occurred here. And does look like Israelson was turned around as part of this. We'll see if we can figure out exactly what happened to him. It looks like what's happening now is that he may have been lagging or something, because at that point he's already around.
Yep. We've seen him having the internet connection problems.
The bottom line is that it's all come apart for Joey Israelson after being so strong early in this one.
Yeah, had a great race going, but it's still some time to get back up through the field here. But that pay window is starting to open here, Michael. We're about to we're past halfway now. It's going to be interesting.
And it looks like Ryan Kuhn was one of those drivers who decided to come in and pit on this caution, because he has dropped to the rear of the field. He was getting shuffled back on the outside. Guess he decided that he didn't want to be in that position any longer, and he will see if he can get those sleigh bells ringling, ring-ching-chingling out of the back of the field in these final 55 laps.
Yeah, Kyle Goodbout joining him in that decision. As we come around, green flag is back out. It's Reagan Parent and Reese Bogue, your race leaders, with Matt Smith in third.
Bogue able to make the power move to the inside and get second. And here comes Logan Powers, one of the early drivers to pit, and he is taking over the third spot right now from Matt Smith. Logan Powers just absolutely flying, and up ahead we've got a challenge for the lead with Reese Bogue.
Bogue got the nose in underneath Reagan Parent, but Parent drives it in deep into turn 3 and takes the advantage right back. Bogue is going to look to make something happen now, right behind in tow with the 17, and now start to slide back a little bit on the outside. And Logan Powers, with those fresh tires, might decide to make a move here on lap number 72.
In the meantime, we will head in the cockpit with the point leader, Bob Eldred, who is hung up on the outside of the 6th spot. Dave Weir, who throw him in the mix for most improved GossCars.com IACT driver over the course of the season, having a very strong run in the number 5 position. Eldred cannot get to the bottom 32 of Eric Steele, now inside of him as Bob Eldred was able to get up to the front, but he is having a tough time staying there.
Yeah, it's just been it's been a luck of the draw tonight, where you end up on the restart. If you're in a spot that's on the outside, I mean, it's a tough draw for you to get to the bottom of the racetrack so you can advance your position, because so often tonight we've seen that car on the outside lose out on the battle with the car on the inside. Eldred doing a really good job here. Oh, and into the back of Eric Steele goes Richie Murray, and the caution flag is out.
Indeed. Contact fighting for a spot in the top 10, and the yellow flag comes back out here. Eric Steele had fought his way back up from an earlier spin, but finds himself going around again in this one. We'll see if we can get a closer look at what happened in this one.
Yeah, it looked like to me, as we were on board, or watching along with Eldred there, that the 32, I don't know if he slowed up coming off the corner or something, but Richie Murray just got into the back of him. Yeah, right in the center of the corner.
Indeed, and Richie Murray, a little clipping there on the 3 of McCaskill, but everyone else, I think, able to avoid him. And that, you can see right there, that black screen right about the time that Eric Steele's internet connection flinched out a little bit as well. As he goes into the pits, we see Kyler Davis, the 03 of Wenzel, and several others here on pit road in this one.
Yeah, it's been an interesting internet night for everybody. Even we were having our own internet problems here in the broadcast booth pre-race. They've been kind of back and forth throughout the race, but they've definitely improved. So if there's any lagging tonight on the broadcast, we apologize for that. But man, Michael, this thing's going to get interesting here. I think Logan Powers is just in an absolutely tremendous spot to control this race right now, right? I mean, Richie Murray gets into the back of the 32, kind of halts his run. Logan Powers was the driver that short pitted there. We'll just the big thing when it comes to the end of this is going to be, did he pit too early? Are these other guys that took tires going to catch up to him and have something for him here?
Well, we did see several other drivers running near the top pit in that caution. Bob Eldred, Matt Smith, Dave Weir, Aiden Young, and others all decided that was the time to bring it down to the pits. And we are going to see what happens over the final 49 laps as the green flag is back out. Bogue again able to dive to the inside the whole second. He will have Logan Powers and Mike McCaskill knocking on the door.
Yeah, great run tonight for Mike McCaskill. Brian Hoare is up there as well in the 46 car. Hoare is up to the top 5. Oh, and Brock Rouse gets shot out of the sandwich there in the 70 machine. He's now 3 wide. Kyle Goodboom middle, and Ryan Kuhn down on the inside. You see those two recently came into pit just a few laps ago, so they're in a good spot now, back up into the top 10. Jason Ricker there, another one of those drivers that was recently on pit road. Later than Logan Powers was. So those are going to be the guys to watch. His caution flag is out here.
We was just looking at the pits to see that a few of our top runners still had not been on pit road, and as that happened, the field goes scrambling. The caution flag comes out once again. I did see the 11 of Jacob Roy turned around in there, so we'll see if we can latch onto him and figure out what happened to bring this latest yellow flag out. Our crack replay team is on it, and as soon as we have something, we will see what we can get our viewers at home. But caution out once again as we near the 2/3 mark of this event.
Absolutely. We will see here. We can find out what might have happened on this caution here, but and interesting. We'll see. I think the 4 and the 17 might be coming to pit road.
Well, they were 2 of the cars that had not pitted yet, Nick. So easily. Oh, at that point, they're already turned around. But Reese Bogue and Reagan Parent were 2 of the cars that had not yet come in. So that does not surprise me that they would pick now to be the time. Looks like may have been a tangle there between the 13 Vermont of Delphi and the 11 of Roy to bring this caution out.
Yeah, we saw Jacob Roy backed up onto the light post there.
This
We'll
view,
see.
this view may tell us. Looks like the field was checking up and there was an accordion effect.
Yeah, Israelson pushed the 13 into the 11 right there.
Well, with Parent making his pit stop and Bogue, and you see Mike McCaskill according to our ticker on pit road as well. That should just about have about everybody having been on pit road at this point, Nick. So at this point, you got what you got.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. You see Reagan Parent coming back out. Him and Reese Bogue. There's Bogue in the 4. They'll have the freshest tires on the racetrack, but also the most ground to gain. Race leader Logan Powers. Second place, 8-time ACT champion Brian Hoare. Then Jason Ricker and Kyle Goodboe were racing once again in the Fast One Motorsports 125.
As they go side by side here, Nick, we're going to check one thing, and it does look like there are few drivers who have not yet taken tires. You can see on our pit window, including that second place car, Brian Hoare, maybe trying to just go the whole way at this point and play the track position game. He's holding on to that outside pretty well so far right now, keeping the second spot over Ricker.
Yeah, and I do think, with this race winding down, everybody's been on the inside all race long, right? Putting tire rubber down. That top lane has got to come in at some point. Like somebody's going to be able to make that lane work, and I think that might be the key to victory for somebody tonight. If they can come up through the field, make some moves on the outside, we'll see what happens. But Brian Hoare kind of struggling to keep that car locked down. The grip up there just really, really hard to come by. You have to run a perfect lane.
Using every bit of space he can, but on the inside, Ryan Kuhn has got his one-horse open sleigh back up to the 3rd position, looking for his 3rd win of the season. They are 3 wide behind him for the number 4 spot. Luke Shannon kind of come through on the inside.
Yeah, Brian Hoare ejected to the 3rd groove there. Caution flag behind him for the 8th time tonight. The yellow flies. Scott Dragon involved, possibly Taylor Hoare in the 46. Richie Murray's night goes from bad to worse.
Yeah.
And we will take a look here, see what happens.
Indeed. Our crack team is once again working to see if they can figure out what happened to bring this caution out.
They've been busy
right
tonight.
Now,
Brock Rouse, David Weir get together.
Yeah. Looks like Kyler Davis may have had a piece of that as well, so we'll see if we can get eyes up earlier. Richie Murray looks like just came into it late in the going.
Yep.
So our crack team will go back to work on it and see what we can figure out. That's what happened. It was the 21 and the 32 who initially got together.
Yep. Yeah, Eric Steele and Dave Weir getting together there, and everybody else piling in. It's a tough break for a lot of really good cars here. Richie Murray, like I said, Michael, his he and Logan Powers were kind of trying to follow each other up through the field after that caution flag when they came in and short pitted, but just hasn't worked out tonight for Richie. As you see Logan up at the front of the field, and Richie's been involved here in a couple of incidents.
That is the risk-reward ratio of short pitting, is that if you can get it back to the field, but if you get backed up just a little bit, then you're spending a whole lot more time than you want back where bad things can happen. One lane doesn't open up, one thing goes cross. Field getting ready to go back racing here in the Fast One Motorsports 125, 40 laps to go. It'll be Logan Powers and Jason Ricker leading them down to the green.
And how many times have we seen Powers and Ricker race side by side for an important spot late in these races here in 2025? Here they go again. Ryan Kuhn, though, gets the good jump on the restart. Ricker's not going to be able to get down to the inside. Kuhn is in go mode in the 72. Fresher tires than the 31 of Logan Powers. He's going to try to make a bid for the lead here if he can clear Ricker in the 9, who's kind of on the comeback trail up there, Michael.
Indeed. And Luke Shannon, one of the drivers who, according to our pit box, has not pitted, hanging with him, trying to take over the 3rd position now from Ricker. Right behind him, Nathan Wenzel as well.
Logan Powers got to keep that car glued to the bottom. Ryan Kuhn is waiting for any sort of bobble to get down in there. He might have his chance now, and Powers shuts the door, and the caution's back out.
Indeedy do it is. 9th caution of the night comes out on lap number 90. That's the replay of the action we saw on the track as they were having a whole lot of fun there. But we're going to see if we can figure out what happened to bring out this caution. Ooh.
Yeah, Bob Eldred involved in this. Aiden Young. Looks like Aiden Young caught the lip.
Yeah. It's looking... yeah, I'm not sure if he caught the lip or maybe the 22 got into the back of him. We'll take a look here and see if we can get a better look at it. Ooh.
No, he caught the lip because the 22 got in the back of him. Yep.
And Justin Prescott gets into the back of Bob Eldred in the aftermath and sends him spinning. And we are back under yellow here at the virtual Oxford Plains Speedway.
Yeah,
this seems as good a time as any, Nick, for tonight's track fact about the Oxford Plains Speedway.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Since we got some time. Well, my track fact actually has nothing to do with auto racing because Oxford Plains Speedway didn't just used to be a place for racing. It was a place for entertainment. And the highlight of that came in June and July of 1988, Nick. I don't know if you know this, but on June 25th, 1988, Oxford Plains Speedway hosted the Monsters of Rock Festival featuring Van Halen, the Scorpions, Metallica, Dokken, and Kingdom Come, 40,000 person crowd. And then the following week, July 2nd and 3rd, they hosted the Grateful Dead on back-to-back nights, which brought in an estimated 140,000 people. And Nick, apparently everybody loved it except the people in Oxford, because shortly after that Grateful Dead concert, because of the problems with the traffic and the tearing up the turf and everything, the town of Oxford passed a ordinance that, as we have trouble on the restart.
Oh my goodness. Problems on the restart. Luke Shannon got around, and they took a whole bunch of them with them, Michael.
Indeed. We're trying to get our cameras on Shannon so we can get a replay of what happened here, but no question he ended up facing the wrong way on a one-way street there. We'll see if we can see exactly what happened here. As our crack team reports, the event bar is going faster than they can keep up with it, but it was definitely Shannon going around, and no surprise now that he's gotten turned around. Looks like he's just going to take it to the pits and get the tires that he still had waiting for him.
You see the front end of that 13 machine all punched in. It's gotten rough and tumble here at the end of this race. Still about 35 to go.
At that point, they're already pulling up.
The pace car
Let's see if we can
even
back it up here and get a look.
The pace car hadn't even come to a stop. Oh, Shannon just got way loose down on the bottom there. Oh, Kyler Davis head on. Yeah. Matt Smith, Taylor Hoare going around. Kyle Goodboe, Nate Wenzel.
Yeah, we're trying to get the camera on what happened here. Oh, yeah, it looks like some contact between Shannon and Wenzel as they were looking to punch the gas, and everybody piles in.
You know who that's going to really benefit, Michael, with still enough time to make up a little bit of ground in this race? The 17 of
Who's
Reagan
that?
Parent and the 4 of Reese Bogue. A couple of guys that we saw take some track position, lead some laps. They just got to pass a bunch of the field here with not a lot of time left, unless they're just going to re-rack everybody, which it looks like iRacing might be doing that.
Well, the 13, apart from the 13 and the 03, it looks like they were sent to the rear for the contact that initially caused it. But some re-racking behind him as we are back under green. Ryan Kuhn letting it all hang out on the outside, and Joey Israelson decided to try the apron, it looks like, but that is not going to work. He falls back through the field.
Yes, he does.
You see slow on the inside as well.
Ryan Kuhn, if anybody's going to make the top side work tonight, it's going to be the 72 of Ryan Kuhn. Can't get it done. Slides in front of Jason Ricker in the 9. Kuhn settles into second. Now, trying to find a place to put the nose in underneath Logan Powers. Force Powers up the racetrack and try to take the lead away. Kuhn in the 72, Powers in the 31. Will this be the battle for the win, or does somebody else have something to say about it?
We will find out as things still getting crazy in the field. Prescott going a lap down, and we see Bob Eldred, the point leader, clearly ran into some trouble. We'll go back if we get the chance to see what happens, but right now the focus is on the battle for these top spots. The traffic, oh, look out, we got contact with the lap car, and there goes our third place man of Ricker.
Oh, no.
Oh, the gloves have come off, the headbands have come off, the shoes have come off.
Chaos at Oxford Plains Speedway.
Boy. That is putting it mildly, Nick, as we see if we can get a bead on what happened between Jason Ricker to bring this caution flag out. Because, oh man, gets turned around out of the number 3 position. Oh yeah, just contact between Ricker and the lap car Prescott. Ricker probably trying to get the bottom, and Prescott was still in there by just a little bit, and yeah. Good Boo caught up in it. Eric Steele has just been thrown in the washing machine with how many times he's been spun around tonight.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Well,
I hope his clothes at least come out nice and clean.
Hope he used Tide. Well, Michael, it remains interesting, and we'll see here if we can get a green flag run to end this race, and it's getting right down to it here. It's crunch time for sure. $100 on the line for the winner of this race, and Logan Powers, he wants to get it done. Ryan Kuhn might have to use the outside though if he wants to get by. Indeed,
that might have to do it, and he's got some heavy hitters behind him. The one of Davis, the 45 of Good Boo, and Eric Steele still in 5th, apparently got it going fast enough under the score forward rule to hold on to a top 5 spot. Merry Christmas to Eric Steele, and Ryan Kuhn trying to give it the old Happy New Year on the outside, but the caution is back out again in this one.
Wow, what in the world is going on here tonight? I believe we've had 8 cautions in the last 30 laps.
Well, I can hear the late Tom Curley right now in my earpiece, Nick, and he's saying some things I can't repeat over a microphone.
He's about to walk down there, slam his umbrella on a few cars, stop the whole field on the front stretch. Yeah, that's about where we're at.
Yeah. Now, unclear what actually happened to bring out the caution. We're looking at Reagan Parent, who may have gotten involved in it because you were talking about him getting some benefits, and he is now stuck way at the back of the field, right behind our point leader, Bob Eldred. Jake Roy returns from pit road. A lot of comers and goers as a result of this, Nick.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see here what's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, it's at this point, you know, Good Boo's there in 4th. The one of Davis is there in 3rd. But I really think
Good Boo's car is looking more like a modified at this point than a late model stock.
Yeah, it is. He's got some damage on it for sure. But
I have a hard time believing the winner's not going to come from this front row. The way these two cars have raced tonight, Powers, Kuhn have really been the two fastest cars, and I think we're going to see a great battle. If we can stay green long enough, I think it's going to be a great battle to the finish.
Oh, we see the 9 of Jason Ricker stopped at the top of turn 2 as we get ready to go back green here as well. And you're right, Nick, that these two cars will be tough to beat, but the whole field's been having trouble keeping them straight at this point. So I'm not going to predict anything at this point as we have lights come back on the pace car for an extra lap as they deal with the 9 of Ricker, who was stalled at the top of the turn.
Yep, take one on the field for Jason Ricker. But, Michael, this is the battle. 31, Logan Powers. 72, Ryan Kuhn. $100 on the line for these two drivers and anybody else that wants to get in on the fight. It's going to be interesting. How will these drivers race themselves down to the finish? Who's it going to be? Powers inside, Kuhn outside. We are racing once again.
And Ryan Kuhn looks like he's having some internet lag just for good measure, Nick. But he pops back on our screen now, tried to dive inside of Powers, but that's just one more wrinkle to add to this. Is Ryan Kuhn's internet connection going to hold up for 28 more laps?
Yeah, that's the question at this point. Zulo having problems.
Pulled the inside out of a top 5 position. And we've got trouble behind him. Cars going around.
And the caution flag coming back out once again. Kyle
Stop
Goodboe.
me if you've heard that one before, Nick.
Yeah, this race, very clean first half of it, but the second half has been a little bit rough and tumble.
To say the least, we've got eyes on Kyle Goodboe, who clearly had something to do being involved in that wreck at the back of the pack. Our crack replay team is trying to figure out what exactly happened here. Ooh. Looks like some sort of chain reaction here happened. But I'd seen the 16 of Zulo pull off on the inside on the back straightaway, and I wonder if the field may have gotten stacked up as a result.
Yeah, you wonder. It's been a lot of stack ups tonight. That's how we've seen a lot of these wrecks happen here. It's just been the story of the race, but we roll around. Just a couple of laps completed since the last caution, and yeah, we're gonna these guys get another opportunity to restart from the lead. We'll see if there's anything different. If Powers continues to get the jump and Kuhn continues to settle into second.
And the field keeps shuffling behind him, Nick. You take a look at the rest of the field. Davis still in third, but Reese Bogue up to fourth. Matt Smith, one of the late pitters, is back up to fifth. Mike McCaskill up into the sixth position. Nathan Wenzel, who's fought back from a lot of stuff tonight, up into seventh. You know, I'm certainly not wishing this, Nick, but there's a lot of drivers who could potentially steal this thing if something crazy were to happen. And given how the race is going, I wouldn't put anything past anybody.
Definitely not. So here we go again. Kyler Davis, can he get to the back bumper of Logan Powers and fill that gap? That's going to be the question here. Ryan Kuhn trying to find his way down to the inside. Davis trying to fill the hole. Kuhn having internet problems again. It gets down to the inside. And now we'll look to take the lead away from Logan Powers as Davis trying to fend off Reese Bogue in the 4-car for third place.
Back and forth they go here at the Oxford Plains Speedway. We'll take it to the blimp as, we got cars coming out of the pits. Ricker, Goodboe, and others. It's not just you got to race the top cars. You got to race the carnage as they're 3 wide. Goodboe a lap down, and Matt Smith shoots through.
And we have
caution is back again, Nick. Oy vey.
Oh boy. Well,
the agony.
We've made it to 25 laps to go. So that's an accomplishment.
Still not entirely, not sure what happened. We saw some cars that had come back onto the track and were getting lapped, but we'll see if there's any way we can figure out what happened between those folks. But things shuffling in a right hurry here at Oxford as the laps wind down. Take a look here and see if we can figure out what happened. Nope. If there was a caution, it was before that, Nick. And gosh, I wouldn't even know where to begin with everything that's been happening here.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. It's been a wild second half of this race. Field can't get themselves under control here, and we've reached 25 laps to go. But how many more restarts does that mean? It's going to be interesting to see how this continues to go. And to focus this back up to the front of the field, this gives Logan Powers, Ryan Kuhn, especially for Ryan Kuhn, this is giving him more and more opportunities. Find Logan Powers' line. Logan Powers is going to have to start at different points, kind of in that restart box to find a place to make his launch, right? So he's running out of places to do it. Ryan Kuhn can he's got more information now to try to pick and match that jump and maybe even himself up there. Or, if he wants to time it right to get right in behind Logan Powers to make sure he gets second and doesn't come under siege from Kyler Davis or anybody else, it might give him a better opportunity to time that as well.
Indeed. In poker, Nick, this is what we refer to as a leveling war. We have different levels of thinking about what you're going to do and what your opponent is going to do and what they think you're going to do. But it will be decided here on the track. Green flag is out. Powers and Kuhn both dart away from the rest of the field, but it's going to be Powers. Kuhn going to try the crossover off of turn 2.
And Kuhn's going to get down there. Logan Powers swipes himself back down to the bottom to cover that position. Going to have to make Kuhn go to the top to get it done. Powers in the lead. Kuhn there in second. Kyler Davis lagging back in third, waiting to see if anything happens between these leaders. The way this race has gone, you can't count it out.
Reese Bogue running fourth, and Ty Delphia has climbed into the top 5 of this one. A whale of a run for the Thunder Road Flying Tiger driver as the laps wind down. The action, though, is in the top 2 positions. Logan Powers, the 31, and that one-horse open sleigh, the 72, trying to deliver some presents here at Oxford. Going to have to find a way around Powers, though, to do it.
Yeah, this is the fight. 20 laps to go. Can Logan Powers hold him off? As we see cars coming back off of pit road once again. Kuhn topside, looking to make another run. Logan Powers still your leader. There's Reese Bogue in the 4. How about Ty Delphia running in 5th place in the 13? It's going to be quite a fight to the finish here as we go on board with Kyler Davis from 3rd position.
He's got the best seat in the house to this battle for the lead. Ryan Kuhn trying to worry the 31 out of the way, not working that time. Doing everything he can think of as the laps wind down. 17 to go here in the Fast One Motorsports 125. May have been a touch of contact there as Kuhn has to drop back in the 72 and regroup.
Yeah, that's a big bobble from Ryan Kuhn. He's now going to have to work Logan Powers over again, gain the positions back up to the back bumper, and then force a mistake here, all in 16 laps. And we saw a little bit of contact. Kyler Davis, he wants to be there to capitalize if these two leaders come together and there's a hole that opens.
Indeed. Logan Powers looking for his first win of the season. The number 3 point man in position to take a huge bite out of the lead with Goodboo and Eldred both having run into problems tonight. Ryan Kuhn, even though he missed a race, trying to insert himself back into the championship conversation. That would be something if he could contend for a championship after missing an event. And the 5 bonus points for winning would certainly help with that. He has caught the back bumper of Powers once again.
Caution's out.
Caution is back out with 13 to go.
Well, he got step 1 done, and that was to catch back up to Logan Powers after making that mistake. See how much of his race car he had to use up right there. You see,
Here it possibly could have had something involving Taylor Hoare, but we'll take a look here and see what we got here on the replay. Contact between Hoare and Rouse to bring out the caution.
yep, caution flag is out right there. You see neither the 70 or the 46 are any worse for the wear. Yeah, Taylor Hoare was just full on power sliding, and Brock Hoare was not willing to give a lift for what position was that, Michael? 30th?
I believe they were, according to our ticker, they were fighting for the 12th spot, Nick. So give a little credit where credit is due.
It pays a lot in IACT, that 12th position. Oh, anyway, speaking of 12 laps to go here.
There is no substitute for a racer's pride, Nick.
I guess not. So we are coming back. It'll be 12 laps to go when we get going once again. Logan Powers, 31. Ryan Kuhn, 72. And then Kyler Davis and Reese Bogue were both right there. We'll see how this plays out. Ryan Kuhn's got to execute again and put himself in a position. If I'm Kyler Davis, he's kind of the X factor, become the X factor on these restarts that I've been watching for. Can he stay with Logan Powers? Because if he can get tight up on that back bumper, Ryan Kuhn is might be in some trouble here.
We will find out soon enough. The timing of the restart is going to play a lot here as they come to the line. And Powers with a nice jump that time around. Him and Kuhn both drive away, but Kyler Davis was ready and barrels it into turn one. Going to try and keep pace with these front two.
Yeah, Ryan Kuhn here. We're going to see, can he get to the bottom? Kyler Davis is there underneath him, and Kuhn with a good run off the corner clears himself into that position. That's part one for Kuhn now. Part two, he's got to find an opportunity to take the lead away from Logan Powers, who has led the majority of the second half of this race. A lot of it's been run under caution, but nonetheless, Logan Powers trying to finish off an impressive run here tonight. Kuhn there in second, Davis in third, then it's side-by-side between Ty Delphia and Reese Bogue for fourth.
While Kuhn tries to set him up, we'll take a look at this side-by-side action as Ty Delphia goes into the fourth spot, having the best run of his IACT career. Nate Wenzel trying to come back, swapped a little paint there with Bogue. Everybody able to hold on to it in the meantime. And Richie Murray has fought his way back into the top 10 too as we are inside of 10 laps to go. A lot of comers and goers still in the middle of the pack, but we will head back to the front here and see what's cooking between Logan Powers and Ryan Kuhn.
Yeah, trying to salvage a good day there is Richie Murray, but here is the battle for the lead, the battle for the win. 7 laps to go. Coming to 6 more circuits around Oxford Plains Speedway. Nose to tail for the win. Logan Powers, 31. Ryan Kuhn, 72. Kuhn desperately trying to find a position to get around the 31. Hasn't been able to do it just yet. Coming to 5 laps to go in the Fast One Motorsports 125.
Logan Powers has done everything right for 120 and a half laps. Can he do it for 4 and a half more? Ryan Kuhn is just filling up that rear view mirror in the 72 as they head around one more time. Let's take a look with him as the laps wind down.
You see Kuhn starting that higher entry, trying to dime into that corner, get the drive off, and peek the nose in. But Logan Powers, the crucial part for Logan right now, keep that car down right on that white line. Give Kuhn no opportunity to stick the nose underneath. Caution flag is out with 3 to go.
Indeed it is, Nick. Caution flag back out on the speedway here with what is going to set us up for, I believe, a green-white checker to close this one out. And hearing it may have involved Nathan Wenzel, who was running in the top 10. We'll see if we can get a look at what happened here to bring out the yellow.
Well, Wenzel no longer listed in the top 10, so you might be onto something here. And there he is in the 03 machine. Jason Ricker as well. Let's take a look. Racing with Richie Murray. It's a little
Gets
sideways. Reese Bogue says, around you
a
go.
little tap from Bogues, and Matt Smith goes for the carnival ride in the 22 machine.
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to show on TV what the 70 Brock Rouse's car just did to the 22 of Matt Smith.
Oh, baby.
Right underneath him. Oh, my goodness.
Well, all this was happening for a spot inside the top 10. Green, white checker to decide this one. Logan Powers, your leader, Ryan Kuhn. What is most likely his last gasp at Logan Powers. We see Richie Murray possibly going to the pits as well in the 08 machine, and he is going to go to the pits and give up a top 10 position here in the final couple of laps. Possibly an incident points penalty or something else we may not be aware of, but just nothing going right for Richie Murray tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a tough night for the 08 team, but yeah, Logan Powers right here. This is going to be a big jump. Kuhn's got to make something happen, got to do something differently because green-white checkered, he's not going to have enough time to settle in, find a way around Logan, and make something happen. Good restart for Kyler Davis as well. Green-white checkered finish here tonight at Oxford.
Powers and Kuhn. Here comes Davis. Davis able to get the nose inside here as they come to the white flag. Ryan Kuhn is committed to the outside. Nick, they are heading towards you on the final lap.
Logan Powers out in front, side by side behind him. That's all he needs to see. For the final time through turn 3 and 4, it's going to be Logan Powers with the short pit strategy. It pays off, and he brings home a $100 victory in the Fast One Motorsports 125.
Logan Powers gets it done in the 31 machine. You do those slides for life, Logan Powers. Ryan Kuhn in second, Kyler Davis third, Aiden Young and Ty Delphia round out the top 5. And it was a high attrition night, but they get it done. Logan Powers going to burn it down here in the 31 machine after taking the Fast One Motorsports 125.
What a race we just saw at Oxford. Great battle for the lead throughout. Logan Powers with the pit strategy got back up to the front after short pitting around lap 50. And now burning it down at Oxford Plains Speedway. We will talk to him in a moment here. But Michael, first of all, let's run down through here once again. You see Powers with the win, Kuhn and Kyler Davis rounding out the podium. We'll hear from all three of them shortly. How about Aiden Young, his best run of the year in 4th. Ty Delphia with his best ever run in 5th. Dave Weir, another best ever run for him in the 21, finishing 6th. Jason Ricker rebounding to finish 7th. Nate Wenzel 8th. Brock Rouse 9th. And Matt Smith finishing out 10th here in this one.
Indeed, and you can see with the Night of Carnage, only 8 cars end up finishing on the lead lap as a result, but that is sometimes a skill, Nick, just making it to the end of these races. It pays off for a lot of drivers, but the man who led them all down, the 31 of Logan Powers, we're still waiting for our top 3 to join us in the broadcast booth. Maybe Logan's just so excited he can't find the button. Oh, there he is. Logan Powers. Join us, Logan. What a fantastic run for you in the 31. First of all, let's take it to the short pit strategy. I've seen you try this before at Oxford and almost work. What made you decide it was the right move again this time?
Oh, I don't know. I just assumed try something different. I knew Ryan was obviously going to be the car to beat, and it just worked out. I just came in around 40-ish and tried to keep my tires underneath of me the whole time. Tried not to make any aggressive moves in the point of burning them up and getting in any contact. And had a couple cautions, and pretty much everybody filed out through. And just put me back up front. And then think Ryan probably would have worked me over there. A couple restarts if we had stayed green. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think we would have had a really good battle if we were able to stay green a little bit longer. But yeah, nonetheless, it was a good run.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had 12 cautions in the second half of this race alone. Logan, you and Ryan, I mean, that must have been an ultimate mental warfare there, trying to time the starts so the two of you made it in, and somebody was going to win it, and you won most of them. With the bottom lane being the dominant place all night long, how important was winning all those restarts to you get into victory lane tonight?
Well, it was big, but another big factor was the curbs. I knew that if I had clipped the curb coming off the corner, that was going to be it. I knew he was just a little bit faster, but I knew that if I were to clip that curb coming off and shoot the nose up the track, he would have definitely drove underneath of me. So I was just trying to be perfect. It was super hard to do. I know he got into it a few times as well as I did, but yeah, super nerve-wracking. But the other part of it is we don't count caution laps, which typically if you pit early and we have all those cautions, it would have been free sailing, because it would have been no extra laps on the tires. But having to restart every time and count every single lap definitely put a little bit more stress on it. But
you go
but
home.
You got the job done, Logan. Excuse me. You got $100, and with the high attrition, also put yourself square in this championship hunt, I think, for the final 3 races.
Yeah, pretty cool. I got to thank everybody that puts this series on. Fast One Motorsports, Goss Dodge. Pretty cool that they give out money for nothing. Show up here on a Monday night when it's no one wants to be outside in the snow. So pretty cool to be able to race for nothing and win some money. So it'll help me pay my electricity bill.
There you go. Logan Powers, the win here tonight. Congratulations, as we see one last burnout here from the 31 machine. On to our second place finisher, Ryan Kuhn. Ryan, man, I don't think anybody's debating you had the fastest car on the racetrack tonight, but just couldn't get anything going up on that outside lane. Neither could anybody else, really, and you have to settle for second after a really interesting strategical fight there with the 31 late in this race.
Yeah, I made a mistake middle of the race. I was thinking about pitting. I told some of my guys, I'm like, I think I'm going to pit here, and I'm going to pit here. And then last second, I was like, I don't know. I stayed out, and I should have pitted. But, that was one heck of a race with Logan. He's really good. And I needed a few more laps on the restarts there. He was really good on the fire off, and I felt like if we stayed green a little bit, the outside would have came in. But all those yellows really cooled down the bottom lane, and it made it the preferred groove for the first 10, 15 laps. But after like 20, 25 laps, the outside was actually really good. But had a lot of yellows there at the end, but it was one heck of a battle.
Indeed, Ryan. First of all, I can tell you were at Speed Weeks because you're sounding a little more southern than you usually do. Second of all, I mean, what's that like as a driver? When you want to get a green flag run, but everything is just really stop and start.
Yeah, it's tough. You just got to time your restarts every time and hope you get to the bottom every time. That last restart, I couldn't get to the bottom, but I had to really roll the outside, but it just was not working. But like I said, you just needed some long green flag runs. The outside was actually really good after 15 to 20 laps and just couldn't get there.
Well, Ryan, congratulations on a solid second place run tonight. Certainly was a treat to watch you and Logan race for the finish, and we will see you next week. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
And now we'll head over to our third place finisher, Kyler Davis, who's been tossed around like a broken plate in a dishwasher for a lot of this season, but Kyler getting it done tonight in that number 1 machine.
Yeah. Honestly, I was pretty surprised I was up here. I'll take the luck over the speed for sure. I had nothing for Logan or Ryan on those runs. Pushed it a little hard on, coming up through. But that last restart, I think, put us a lot closer. I drove it a little harder but still came out third.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good race for you guys, and making your way up through the field. Take us through all those restarts, because I mentioned it a couple times. I thought you were in a really interesting position there in third, where a lot of times the bottom was the dominant place to be. What were you trying to do there to ultimately get to a point where you filled that hole that Kuhn couldn't get in. It looked to me like he was just getting really good runs off of the corner that were allowing him to slide back in front of you.
Yeah, he was faster for sure on the outside. There was a couple times he was blinking quite a bit. So I just kind of gave him the space, knowing I wasn't faster than him, and or Logan, of course. So it was just, I was content with third, to be honest with you, until that last restart.
Well, that's...
But still, I mean, just considering how the season has gone, I mean, how much does it mean to you to finally get on the podium here?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. It sucked I missed last week. We were working on the race car and I just lost track of time. But it's good to be up here, especially at Oxford. Means a lot.
Well, Kyler, congratulations. Great to see you back up here on the podium, and we'll see you hopefully next week. Don't get too carried away working on that race car, but you are running out of time.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys putting these races on. Fast One Motorsports for the sponsor day, Goss Dodge. You guys doing the broadcast.
All right. Thank you again, Kyler. Thanks again to all our top three and all of our drivers here tonight at Oxford Plains Speedway. Michael, where are we headed next week?
We are headed next week to the Five Flags Speedway, a virtual No, we're not actually, Nick. I apologize. I've been back in a bit of a fog. I believe it's the New Smyrna Speedway.
Yeah.
It's definitely a track in Florida.
Yes.
Maybe you should handle this part.
Yes, we are going to the New Smyrna Speedway next week. The race was set up as TBA on our schedule. We were thinking about a couple different places. Obviously, we really wanted to run Slinger for this series with the similarities that it carries to a Thunder Road or a White Mountain. But ultimately, the official racing at Slinger is really difficult with the pit road there, and there's some glitches with race cars. So we thought, in the interest of putting on the best show possible, we would take it to New Smyrna Speedway, which is where we just saw Speed Weeks last week there. So while that's still fresh in our minds, we're going to head on down there to Florida and pretend that we're down there in the sunshine and the warm weather while we sit here in the Northeast with, I don't know about everybody else watching this, but I got 2 feet of snow at my house. So we're going to think about warmer times and look forward to a really fun race next week at New Smyrna.
Indeed. I am excited about it. Just 3 races left in the GossCars.com IACT season. And we'll get the official points put together in the first couple days. But between Bob Eldred, one of the drivers bitten by the attrition, Kyle Goodboe running the trouble, and Logan Powers coming through with a strong run, things are really going to tighten up in this championship chase, Nick. And I am looking forward to seeing how that story plays out over the final 3 weeks.
Yep, certainly not over yet. It's going to be interesting to see who can come out with the championship here in just a few weeks' time. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in